He certainly has to come up big, and a lot of those Billikens do when you lose a guy like Javonte Perkins, last year's leading scorer at 17 points per game, out for the year after tearing an ACL in his left knee in an exhibition game. We are underway from FedEx Forum. The 3-0 Billikens, the 2-0 Tigers. Take a look at the starting lineup for the Tigers, with Alex Lomax, Emoni Bates, Lester Quinones, DeAndre Williams, and Jalen Duren on the floor for Coach Anthony Penny Hardaway in season number 4 with the Tigers. Williams misses, rebound by Jordan Nesbitt, the former Memphis Tiger from St. Louis, came to Memphis last year, played limited. 3 games, 11 minutes, decided to transfer back to his hometown school. The Billikens lineup, Yuri Collins, as you focused on in our open, Terrence Hargrove Jr., Jordan Nesbitt, Martin Linson, and Gibson Jimerson, their leading scorer for head coach Travis Ford, now in his 6th season with St. Louis, his 25th season overall as a Division I head coach. The Tigers turn it over. St. Louis gives it right back. The alley-oop for Duren, and he was held. Oh, they're going to charge. Thought for a second there they were going to call a hold. Great defense there by Martin Linson, the 6'8" junior forward from Dusseldorf, Germany. Your officials for tonight's game: Anthony Jordan, Terry Weimer, and Bert Smith. Collins will be called actually for that foul.
No, he drew the charge. He's the one that actually stepped in and got the charge.
Well, that's the strength of Yuri Collins.
Well, again, Travis Ford and company spent a lot of time yesterday working on handling the Memphis pressure, where to keep the ball in the middle of the floor and staying out of the double teams.
Bad pass, but able to run it down was Linson. Corner 3 goes for Gibson Jimerson, who's averaging just under 19 a game, shooting just about 39% from 3, 38.9 to be exact. And the Billikens draw first blood here at FedEx Forum.
Travis Ford spent a lot of time talking to his kids yesterday about hunger. How bad do you want it? Really saying what a great opportunity they had to come in against a top-ranked team here in Memphis tonight.
Jump stop, Williams in the lane, gets the floater to go. And the Tigers are on the scoreboard. DeAndre Williams struggled in game 2 for the Tigers. He fouled out, averaging 8 points per game, the 6'9" senior forward out of Houston, Texas.
A lot of movement, a lot of screens. St. Louis coming off those picks. Memphis got to do a good job communicating defensively. Tigers open up man-to-man. So we'll see some traps from Memphis. They really spent a lot of time with defensive pressure. Duren just over manhandled Linson in the steal.
St. Louis averaging not even 9 turnovers per game. Meanwhile, the Tigers at 17 per game through 2. Duren got it down low, and he's fouled. He'll shoot a couple of free throws. Good entry pass there for Memphis. The foul will go against Terrence Hargrove Jr.
Greg, you made a good point, because that time Williams recognized that Jalen Duren had the inside position, gave him a nice lob pass. Now, even though you had 3 guys collapse on him, he's still strong enough in traffic to take it up, and I think it's a good sign for Memphis to get their big guy involved. He didn't have many touches in the game Saturday night. Really had no points at the half, which is amazing that they were still so solid. But he is impressive, and when he's down low, he is a load to handle.
Still ended up with a double-double, his first collegiate double-double in the win over North Carolina Central, 90-51. Meanwhile, St. Louis coming off a win over Eastern Illinois at 86-44.
Good sign that a big guy has got a very good free throw shooting style, and he's shooting better than 75%. He's going to get to the line a lot. Of course, I jinxed him. But because he's going to be at the line a lot, you want to see him shoot a high percentage.
All tied at 3. Nesbitt jump stop and gets fouled. I think that'll go against Emoni Bates. It does.
Well, that's just an example. Bates never got back, and Jordan Nesbitt, to his credit, he attacked, went right to the rim. Again, that's something that Travis Ford talked to his kids yesterday in practice. Get to the rim. Don't be weak. Be aggressive. Take it right at him. Good example there for Nesbitt. Nice finish.
Good start for Nesbitt to his St. Louis Billikens career, averaging 13.3 points per game, 6.7 rebounds, and he misses his first free throw attempt. Still tied at 3. We'll have more on Nesbitt coming up in a few moments with Cassie Carlson, who's the 3rd member of our broadcast team tonight. Memphis leads the all-time series over the Billikens 32-26 as Nesbitt misses both. Last meeting back in the NCAA tournament in 2012, St. Louis winning that game 61-54 in second round action. Quinones pull up from the elbow, no, and boy, Hargrove is a big guard at 6'4". He gets sky for rebounds. Williams strips Collins. Lomax looking for Duren. great save by Duren, but Lomax in traffic, unable to knock it down. Memphis gets it back. And they'll go to St. Louis. So Memphis, good hustle. They got some opportunities, John, unable to cash in, and we're still tied at 3.
A little different competition level for both teams tonight. So I think each is kind of feeling their way a little bit. But this is a very good basic evaluation for where St. Louis is. One of the things that Travis Ford, where are we? What are we made of? And for Penny Hardaway, this is obviously the best team that his young club has seen to date. Expect a good game tonight.
Earl Timberlake and Malcolm Dandridge, the first two off the bench for Penny Hardaway's team, as Alex Lomax and Jalen Duren check out. Here's Collins, top 5 total assists in the country. Incredible assists to turnover ratio. Last year led the A-10 in assists.
I mean, that's 9 and change assists for every turnover that you have. That's incredible. Now, obviously, competition's got something to do with that. Nice execution in the half-court set by St. Louis.
Yeah, great bounce pass there from Collins to get the assist on the bucket by Linson, who's averaging just under 12 a game. And Collins also averages nearly 10 a game, so he can score as well. Bates tried to leave it for Williams, but Williams wasn't ready for it, and Memphis turns it over for the 3rd time. Again, turnovers have been an issue for the Tigers early in the season at 17 per game, as Landers Nolley II will check in.
Not bad when you can come off the bench with a first-team All-American Conference performer. Incredible. Memphis trailing for the first time all year in this game, down 3-0 and obviously 5-3. It's early, understand, but they have not trailed for a minute up to this point.
A lot of bumping down the court. Timberlake to Collins, and they go mano-a-mano. And another good delivery by Collins. Linson unable to get it this time. And here comes Memphis trailing by 2 as we approach 16 to play in the first half. Timberlake lost the handle, and Memphis turns it over again. And down at the other end, Nesbitt, no. Hargrove tried the tip. He can't get it to go. Nolley gets bumped, throws it up, and he'll shoot free throws when we return. Timeout on the floor at FedEx Forum. 15:57 remaining in the first half. The Billikens of St. Louis with a 5-3 lead over the Memphis Tigers.
Welcome back to SLU in Memphis on ESPN+. You guys were talking about Jordan Nesbitt, the freshman for the St. Louis team. He started his career at Memphis. He was an early enrollee. He came in the middle of the season last year, only played in 3 games before transferring out. As soon as he entered that transfer portal, SLU saw his name in there, and he was someone that had been recruited by SLU in high school. Jordan Nesbitt said it took him coming to Memphis to realize that he wanted to play for his hometown team. He grew up going to SLU games at Chaffetz Arena, and he realized what he could mean to the program if he went and played back home. He also had a daughter last year, now gets to spend more time with her, see her grow up, and he's much happier being a Billiken.
Thank you, Cassie, for that report. Good to see Jordan again. 3 games, just 11, make that 12 minutes for the Tigers last season, and hopefully he has found a home back in his home of St. Louis. So Nolley to the free throw line, knocks down the first. Memphis has turned the ball over 3 times in the last minute 41, 4 for the game now. And John, St. Louis is 5 points, all coming off Memphis turnovers.
St. Louis is doing a good job of controlling what they're doing. Again, they didn't want to settle for the shots that Memphis forced them into taking, so they're getting good looks out of their offense and also pushing the ball at the floor very effectively.
Fred Thatch Jr. in the game for St. Louis from Sykeston, just down the road from St. Louis. Jimerson off the screen.
Hit top of the backboard.
Yeah, it's out of bounds. It'll go to Memphis basketball, or go to Memphis, I should say, with the basketball, as Jayden Hardaway has checked in for the first time. The son of head coach Penny Hardaway. Hardaway, Jayden, that is, started game 2 for the Tigers in their win over North Carolina Central.
Penny Hardaway spent some time talking to Earl Timberlake after that last timeout. Ball goes out of bounds. Tigers will retain possession, but really tell them to be stronger with that basketball. Collins doing a good job of just being, on those angles just enough to make him uncomfortable.
Nolley from the free throw line.
Good look. Didn't go, but good look out of the offense.
Dandridge the rebound, the putback. Nope. Couple of opportunities there for the Tigers go awry, and here come the Billigans looking to push it. Hargrove from the free throw line. He knocks it down.
He's the X factor. Travis Ford said that he's the guy that can shoot from three, and he's also tough enough and strong enough to get it inside if needed. Impressed with St. Louis' start. They've done everything that Travis Ford wanted early on. Take this crowd out of the game and really let Memphis know they're in for a tussle.
Collins got his hand on the ball. Memphis got it back, and that'll be a foul called against St. Louis.
This is a point in the game you're looking for a combination, somebody to give you a spark if you're Memphis. They're just kind of muddling through their offense, struggling a bit, and they're looking for something to pick me up. Need a solid play, and normally that's been defense that's turned over a transition opportunity or a Bates three.
How about Bates from way downtown? He is off to a great start shooting threes. Coming in to the contest, 50% from three, and he drained that one from distance. Memphis now up 8-7.
Tigers immediately with some pressure.
Hargrove.
Nice job by St. Louis. Handled the pressure and immediately got to the Tigers, got to the rim with a high percentage look.
Timberlake well off the mark. Billikens looking to run. They'll take advantage of it when they have the opportunity. And then, if it's not there, they'll do what they're doing right now. They'll settle down into their half-court offense and be very deliberate.
Shot selection, very good. The initial break wasn't there. Kick it out. Restart your offense, which has been very good, getting good percentage locks.
Okoro gets it down low as he just checked into the game and quickly makes his presence felt as he has fouled from behind, and he'll get a couple of free throws. Good entry pass. It's a good passing team.
Well coached, well disciplined. Okoro, a player that Travis Ford said is improving every day and somebody that they need. Nice job. Coming on the backside, Malcolm Dandridge. But again, the damage was already done with a good entry pass from Okoro inside close.
Okoro from Nigeria, but grew up in Bloomington, Illinois. Transferred from Oregon. As Josh Minott will check in. Another one of those heralded freshmen for Memphis. One more for Okoro. The 6'9" junior who's averaging 11 points per game.
St. Louis with an international flavor, and I asked Travis Ford about that yesterday, and he said all the players that are international, from Germany, Sweden, Ivory Coast, etc., we recruited them while they were players in the United States. But yes, we are working on connections internationally through those players.
That one was blocked by Francis Okoro right on cue as Hardaway tried a little dipsy-do in the lane.
Carry.
We got a carry against St. Louis, so they'll turn it over for just the second time as Gibson Jimerson, their leading scorer at 18.7 a game, will check back into the game. St. Louis 11-8 lead. Memphis had a 1-point lead, but it's been St. Louis early on against the 11th ranked Tigers, leading the ball game. Bates
nice.
Reverse, pretty off the window for Emoni. The American Conference Freshman of the Week for week 1 of the season, now with 5 points.
Good job by Collins. Saw the double team coming, got rid of it quickly.
Minott got his, yeah.
St. Louis has done a very good job early, Greg, of handling the Memphis pressure. Their spacing and where they are on the floor is so important. Travis Ford, his coaching staff, spent a lot of time with drills yesterday telling him, don't get caught on the sidelines. Don't get caught in the corner. Try to get to the middle where you have a lot of options, and they've done that. Thatch going to go right to the rim. Minott reaching in, call for the foul. Trying to help.
14 fouls now against Memphis, 2 against St. Louis. Okoro got it underneath, tried to jam it, and he gets fouled by Duren. So 5 now on Memphis. They're starting to add up, and St. Louis is getting shots in the paint deep, down low, and they're trying to take advantage of that. Great passing.
Okoro inside again. Duren gets it from the backside, but Greg, your point is exactly right. Their offense is getting guys open, coming off screens, and the Tigers' communication is not where Penny Hardaway would like to see it. Guys are a little late, or they're losing their men, and St. Louis is taking advantage of it.
Okoro back to the free throw line where he shoots 78.6%. Really good shooting for a big man. He's 3 for 3 already tonight, as DeAndre Williams will check back in. Give Memphis a little bit more size. Plus, during the last couple of possessions where St. Louis was able to get it down low, John, you're talking about Minott, Bates, Duren, young guys who were learning a lot more about college defense and help defense. Communicating as well, right?
Yeah, if you're Memphis, you don't want to see a lot of adversity, but a little adversity is not the worst thing that you could encounter tonight. Again, things have gone very well for them against Tennessee Tech and North Carolina Central, as you'd expect. St. Louis, a much higher caliber foe. Now a zone look, giving Memphis something else to react to.
Bates for three. Not that time. Williams tried to stuff it on a rebound. Memphis gets it again. Minott in traffic off the side of the backboard. And they finally call a foul. A lot of contact. And the foul is called by Terry Weimer. So Minott will go to the free throw line. So Memphis and St. Louis, John, as you are very well aware of, amazing history.
Josh Minott in traffic. Fred Thatch is going to get the foul. Minott's been just perfect almost from the floor on the season. Comes in averaging 75% field goal, 75% from the free throw line. He makes a lot of good things happen for the Tigers. 6'8" freshman out of Boca Raton, Florida.
Averaging 8 and 5 rebounds. But Memphis and St. Louis, former conference mates in the Missouri Valley Conference, the Metro Conference, the Great Midwest, and Conference USA.
I just have horror stories of remembered David Burns as a freshman at St. Louis. Yeah, he lit the Tigers up that day. It was a tough outing. Always loved playing at the Checker Dome. No longer there, but it was a neat place. That's where the 73 Final Four, where Memphis lost to St. Louis. Lost to UCLA in the finals.
Memphis shot 47 free throws in their last game as Thatch will go to the line. They shot 47 free throws. They just shot their first 2 of this particular game. And again, St. Louis getting inside the paint and drawing fouls.
Well, if you knew anything about Travis Ford, the player at Missouri and then later at Kentucky, he was tough, hard-nosed, knew what to do with the basketball, knew how to play the game, and you can see his kids well-coached, well-disciplined. They are not afraid, and that's something he really challenged them about. They have done a very good job executing against pressure. They've basically taken the crowd out of the game. They have done a good job of really running sets that they want in the half court. As a result, they've done a good job controlling the tempo and the score.
The senior Alex Lomax checks back in for Memphis. Thatch, experienced veteran player, good bench player, unable to knock it down on the free throw line.
Now, on nights where your offense is cold, that's where you have to rely on defense, and Memphis has done a good job defensively all season long.
Nolley, the up and under, hits the baseline jumper. We're tied at 13.
Lester Quinones now on Yuri Collins, really trying to make somebody else handle the basketball for St. Louis. Nesbitt will do that, start their offense. Again, a lot of movement, a lot of high screens, a lot of quick cuts.
Collins step back over Nesbitt. Memphis has a break. If Nolley finds Minott, he does, and Josh Minott will finish.
Very good job by Landers Nolley, recognizing who was open, and that gets the crowd on their feet. And a quick timeout for St. Louis.
Quick 4-0 run for Memphis as they grab the lead 15-13, and that's the veteran leadership and experience of a Travis Ford, who's been around the game so long. Terrific player at the University of Kentucky. As I mentioned earlier, 25th season for Ford. There's the Minott dunk as he gets behind the defense. But previous stops, very successful at Oklahoma State for 8 years, UMass, Eastern Kentucky. First head coaching job was at Campbellsville, and now in his 6th season with the Billikens.
Enjoyed watching his practice yesterday. You could tell he still enjoys teaching. And most head coaches, they really enjoy that part of the game. And it was a very solid practice. Again, they spent a lot of time working on where to handle the pressure, where to be on the floor, not to pick up your dribble. This is what he doesn't want to have happen. The waves that Memphis can bring and the momentum that can switch so dramatically when the Tigers are going coast to coast and in the transition game.
We were talking about the loss of Javonte Perkins, which is just brutal to lose a guy that can score the ball so well right before the start of the regular season. He was hurt in an exhibition game. But they also lost 2 four-year guys from last year that graduated in Jordan Goodwin and Hassan French. I believe both are playing professionally, one in the G League, I think one in Europe. So you lose a lot from last year, but Travis went into the portal, grabbed some guys who have transferred to help out the St. Louis team, and then the maturation of guys like Gibson Jimerson, the leadership of Yuri Collins, a guy like Jordan Nesbitt who has transferred transferred and is scoring 13 in the game. So he's reassembling that team, which is picked to finish third in the very competitive Atlantic 10.
Yeah, St. Bonaventure and Richmond predicted to finish ahead of St. Louis in the Atlantic 10. VCU and Dayton and Davidson also will contend for that top spot. But again, very, very unfortunate. Just no time to react when you lose a player of Perkins' caliber. 17-plus points, almost 4 boards a game. You don't replace that. You got to do that collectively.
But there you see Larry Brown getting into the huddle and talking to the team. That knowledge certainly should help.
Well, Memphis has played a lot of different players. They've looked at a lot of different combinations, and this is where you got to figure out which ones are working. Defense has been the one common denominator for Penny Hardaway since he's become the head coach. That's what he emphasizes so much in practice to his players. Defense is so important on nights where you're not shooting the ball well. Tigers shooting less than 40% from the field. Obviously, their coldest shooting effort so far, and it's defense that's going to keep them in it. And the Tigers with that last steal and then the long, nice left-handed outlet pass by Landers Nolley to Josh Minott gives them the 2-point advantage.
St. Louis coming into this game third in the nation in scoring offense and scoring margin. Their scoring margin is plus 50. Now, obviously, the level of competition, not what it is tonight against the 11th ranked team in the nation, but still, you score at a 103-point clip against anybody. That's pretty good shooting, good passing, recognition of the open man. They had 127 points in their win over Harris Stowe, which was 3 off the school record for points in a game, and set the record for margin of victory at 73.
Again, both teams starting off with lesser competition, getting some confidence, getting some game conditions, and Memphis and St. Louis, again, this is the best that either team has played so far, and a good test so far. Exactly what both needed.
DeAndre Jones in the game, the backup point guard to give Yuri Collins a spell. Jones played at Central Arkansas for 4 seasons, and I know that he was a great assist man. So you go from Collins to Jones, and you really don't miss a beat with guys making some really good passes, and that's really good defense by Memphis. Quinones, corner 3, got it blocked. Francis Okoro climbing the ladder, gets the big rejection.
Good hustle by Okoro, out on the baseline by Quinones. Again, Travis Ford talked to his team about not allowing Memphis uncontested threes from the corner. He was more willing to give it to him out top. Good hustle again by Okoro. Gets the rejection. Memphis, 24 seconds on the shot clock.
Pelicans with 3 blocks already. Memphis is 2. Now, Memphis is a really good team in blocking shots with their length.
Nice.
Great speed. Bates, the no-look wraparound of Minott, who gets the dunk, and Josh really knows how to fill the lane and finish 5 for Minott. For more on Joe, Quinones got the steal. He puts it in, and Memphis now on an 8-0 run, and a timeout will be called by Travis Ford. So less than a minute after the last timeout was called, we have another timeout on the floor here at FedEx Forum.
Good burst again, led by the Tigers defense, starting to really exert itself. Penny Hardaway's club has been patient. Good job by Memphis with a 6-point lead.
So for more on Josh Minott, who's off to a great start, let's check in with Cassie Carlson.
Well, 2 big buckets for Josh Minott, the freshman out of Florida. Penny Hardaway actually never saw him play in person before he came here because of COVID-19. Everything he recruited him from was based off of film and FaceTime, but he's been a pleasant surprise to this team and to NBA scouts who have been really pleased with what they have seen from him. Memphis had a pro day before the start of the season, and Josh Minott was the one who turned heads. This team likes to call him Little Giannis, out of Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks, because of his length and size and his ability to dunk.
You can be called worse, John. Little Giannis is a pretty nice comparison to the great Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let me correct myself. The run for the Tigers now 9-0 over the last minute and 39. They've hit 4 of their last 5 shots, and the Billikens have gone well over 2 minutes without scoring. Memphis with its largest lead, 19-13, and it's starting with this pressure defense. Good trapping by Memphis. Hargo drives, Bates blocked it from behind. Memphis looking to run. Lomax leaves it for Bates. And Okoro gets the rebound.
Tigers really picking it up on their defensive end, starting to really get into the traps, forcing St. Louis a little further out on the floor where they want to start their sets, funneling them to the sidelines.
And Gibson Jimerson will go to the free throw line as he is fouled in the act.
Jimerson hit the first basket of the game, has not scored from the floor since.
Last year played in 21 games, 16 starts for the Billikens, averaged just under 8 a game. Good size, played at Montverde Academy. It's out of Richmond, Virginia, and misses the first. So Minott now with 2 fouls. DeAndre Williams has 2 as well for Memphis. Tigers as a team now with 7. So the Billikens in the bonus. Of course, this was in the act.
St. Louis needs to do a little better job from the free throw line. They've had a lot of opportunities, shooting right around 50%. That's a big opportunity that they're missing. 5 for 10. Those are opportunities you got to convert when you get there, because some of them have been on just shots where Memphis had to stop with a more point-blank block, or a bucket was going to ensue.
Jalen Duren back in the game. There's the alley-oop from Alex Lomax. And St. Louis now all of a sudden not guarding against those high percentage shots last few times down. Drive by Collins, no. The putback by Okoro, no. He gets another chance. And then Quinones is fouled from behind by Yuri Collins. A frustration foul by Collins.
Memphis is going to have to do a better job on the boards, blocking out. But this is something they did very well. Alex Lomax with a nice lob. Yep, you guessed it. Jalen Duren with a finish.
And that's one where Hargrove is staring at Duren. He sees Duren cut, and he just stays in his position in that zone, and Duren gets the easy flush.
Good recognition by Lomax, knowing who he had a chance to get it to, put it on the money.
Now there's that veteran leadership of Alex Lomax. We're going to get an offensive foul called on the screen by Duren.
Always tempting for the guy that's setting the screen to move a little bit. It's your job as the guy with the ball, to rub your man off the screen, not the other way around. And as soon as you're set and you start moving as a screener and the contact occurs, you're going to be whistled for the foul.
So Duren now with 2. Collins and Jones in the game together for Travis Ford. A little more.
Nice pass.
And that was a blown layup right there by Martin Linson. That was terrific, but I'm going to say a little more opportunity to make those type of passes when you've got 2 guys who have great court vision like Collins and Jones.
Unforced mistake. Unforced error there. Another mistake for Memphis. Landers Nolley just misreading where Lester Quinones was on the floor.
That is 6 turnovers now against the Tigers as Jayden Hardaway checks back in. Collins, Linson, Hargrove Jr., Jimerson, and Nesbitt on the floor for the Billikens. For Memphis, Bates, Duren, Lomax, Quinones, and DeAndre Williams. Approaching 9 to play in the first half. Alongside John Albright, I'm Greg Gaston. So glad you could be with us. Second chance opportunity. Hargrove, right place, right time, and he now has a half dozen. St. Louis needed that one. 21-16 Memphis by 5.
St. Louis is hanging tough.
Bates, the stopper. How about that shot by Emoni Bates? He has the entire repertoire, and it's on display tonight. 7 now for the freshman Emoni Bates.
That's just tough to guard. That's not an easy shot. That's a reverse spin that he put up in traffic.
Jones traveled. 4th turnover against the Billikens. Tyler Harris has checked in for Memphis. Tyler Harris, who started with Memphis, transferred to Iowa State, played the last couple of years at Iowa State. He's back in his hometown playing with his hometown team, and he's coming off a real nice performance. Scored 11 points in the Tigers' win over North Carolina Central.
He is a streaky shooter. When he gets off to a good start, he can light it up quickly.
No John Camden tonight once again. He's still in a walking boot. But once again, Penny Hardaway says it is not anything serious. Has a callus on his foot. It's very uncomfortable, so he's going to try to work his way through it.
Penny Hardaway wants some movement with that ball. Too much standing around against the zone.
5 on the shot clock. Lomax, the up and under. No, he's going to try to throw a pass with 1 second to go, and you can't do that, and the senior needs to recognize what the time is on the shot clock as Memphis turns it over. And we have a timeout on the floor at FedEx Forum. The Tigers, alarming turnover numbers. They are up to 7 now, but they do have a lead. Memphis has hit 4 of their last 5 shots, and they lead the Billikens of St. Louis 23-16.
When you talk about St. Louis and Memphis, this is a rivalry that dates back many, many years. These two teams have been in many different conferences together, and Penny Hardaway has played against Lou several times and has found as much success. 5-0 against St. Louis. He averaged nearly a triple-double. 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists, filling up the stat sheet in a lot of different ways. And today at shoot-around, he showed Emoni Bates those stats, and Emoni said, "When did you do this?" And Penny Hardaway said, "Those games are what made me a lottery pick." He sends Emoni Bates his stats a lot just to motivate him. Emoni will take whatever he can get.
Cassie, to add something to that, talking to Penny before the game, he said as a high school player, there was a tournament in St. Louis. He went up there and his team lost, and he never forgot about it. And he said, well, if he ever gets a chance to play up there again or maybe even play against St. Louis, he's going to make them pay. And he certainly did with 5 incredible performances and a 5-0 record for then Memphis State.
Important now for St. Louis to get a good look out of the timeout. Not a turnover. That's not what they wanted. Memphis with a big turnover.
Harris, Bates, forget about it. Tomahawk dunk for Emoni Bates on a nice feed from Tyler Harris. They took advantage of the rare turnover from Yuri Collins.
Defense, again, the one thing that you can rest your hat on if you're the Tigers. Aggressive and going after it.
We got a charge.
Tyler Harris, nice play.
So Harris making an impact immediately
on the defensive end, which he's normally known as an offensive guy, but if you're going to play for Penny Hardaway, you got to play both ways. Again, nice defense. Emoni Bates knows how to finish. Tyler Harris in the middle of the last couple of plays for the Tigers, who've now got 9-point lead.
Well, Travis Ford has to pull Yuri Collins out with 7:18 to play in the first half with the 2 fouls. We'll see if he elects to keep him on the bench the rest of the first half. A lot of coaches do when players get 2 fouls. Bates, beautiful. Dandridge got it stripped, though, and it's out of bounds off St. Louis. Great no-look by Emoni Bates, who's doing it all. Bates with 9 points to lead the way for the Tigers. A rebound and an assist as well.
6'9", his skill set is just going to cause not only St. Louis, but a lot of Tiger opponents problems this season.
Tigers on their largest lead of the game at 9. Bates, tough shot and almost banked in. And here come the Billikens, are just shooting 26% in the first half. Memphis at 45%. Billikens 5 of 19. And they had some chances. They got it down low a few times, did get to the free throw line, but have only made 5 of 10. That's great defense right there. That's a tie-up, and Memphis will get the basketball.
Once again, solid defensive play for Memphis. This is why the coaches spend so much time talking about defense, how important it is. Sometimes offense is slow to get started. Sometimes it's just not there. Defense is one thing that you can always count on to keep you in a game if you play solid defense.
Dandridge fell asleep, and he's lucky that Linson missed the shot. Dandridge fills the lane, blocked from behind, and they're going to call a charge. Jimerson had it blocked either way, but the charge happened first, and that'll be on Malcolm Dandridge. That will be his second. Interesting lineup on the floor, John. I don't think we saw this lineup during the 2 exhibition games.
Contact occurs just above the halo.
It's Lomax, Harris, Hardaway, Nolley, and Dandridge. You got 4 guards basically out there with Malcolm Dandridge.
Improvising again, looking for a combination that gives you spark. Tyler Harris has done that coming off the bench, primarily offensively. Another turnover for St. Louis, and this is not what Travis Ford wants to see. But again, with Yuri Collins having to sit down because of the foul problems, really is something unusual for St. Louis to have somebody to handle this pressure.
St. Louis averaging 8.7 turnovers per game through 3. They've already turned it over 7 times, but that's still 1 less than Memphis at 8. Earl Timberlake back in the game for Memphis. Travis Ford wanted to travel because Timberlake fell to the ground.
As long as you don't get up or try to improve your position, normally you're okay.
Hardaway, a lot of dribbling. Now the turnaround off the mark. Harris, the smallest guy on the court, gets the rebound. Nolley from the corner. Boy, Harris saved it again. Inadvertently off the leg, but no kick called on that one. Now 9 on the shot clock for Memphis. Timberlake against 3 defenders will draw the foul and go to the free throw line. That's the strength of the Miami transfer, Earl Timberlake.
Timberlake's strength in traffic allowed him to get in position to handle the contact and find a way to draw a foul.
6 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block for Timberlake last game.
Timberlake just strong enough to take it inside, and Nesbitt's going to pick up the foul. Memphis with a chance to get their first double-digit lead of the game.
Timberlake misses the first, is 50% on the season from the free throw line, as Travis Ford will bring Fred Thatch Jr. back into the game.
It's a real tough stretch for St. Louis, again, because of Collins' foul problems. Really don't want to bring him back in and risk getting in just really difficult foul position. So if they can keep it within reach, that's the challenge for St. Louis, and not really to get down by 14 or 15.
Both teams struggling from the free throw line. St. Louis 5 of 10, Memphis 4 of 8, so both shooting 50%. Dandridge got a hand on that one. And then Okoro, who got the offensive rebound, takes an extra step and another turnover for St. Louis.
Yeah, he definitely traveled. Again, Memphis rim protectors, they've just got so many. Right now, Dandridge is the guy controlling the rims. You've got a number of players that causing Travis Ford's guys trouble inside.
Lester Quinones will check back into the game for Memphis, replacing Malcolm Dandridge. Both teams' offense is stagnant. Memphis has not scored in about 2.5. St. Louis is approaching 4 minutes without scoring.
Tyler Harris just ready to launch that 3. It's going to go up shortly.
Harris, dribble drive penetration. Hardaway got an open 3, top of the key, and Jayden Hardaway splashes it. 50% on the season from beyond the arc. Memphis now 2 of 6 from 3, and they have their largest lead at 12.
Memphis just doesn't give you any chance to relax, just relentless in their constant pressure.
Nesbitt, nope, and Nolley gets the rebound.
This is a real time. St. Louis got to be careful. Memphis really starting to get into its stride.
Harris.
There it is.
Wow. Tyler Harris from way downtown, and Travis Ford calls a timeout. Harris, who set the Memphis freshman record for threes with 79 before transferring to Iowa State. He splashes the 3, and Memphis has opened up a 15-point lead. Memphis on a 10-0 run over the last 4 and change, thanks in part to long-distance dialing here.
3-point shooting has been important for Memphis. Hardaway and now Tyler Harris connecting from long range for the Tigers.
Tigers now 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. Overall, Tigers shooting 46%. They have held St. Louis to 23%. Again, the Billikens came in averaging 103 points per game. Take into consideration the teams they played, it wasn't stiff competition. But Memphis has done an amazing job with a very talented Billikens team to prevent this offense from getting it in gear. Collins is going to come back into the game with 4:20 to play and the 2 fouls.
Well, that tells you Travis Ford realizes he's got to find a way to keep this close if they want to have a chance in the second half. So he's willing to gamble because he has to.
Some other games around the American Conference tonight.
Cincinnati up on Alabama A&M late. UCF and Jacksonville a fairly close one. And the big one, Houston up by 13 right now against Virginia at home, and Wichita State up on Tarleton in the first half.
Okoro tipped it right to his teammate Hargrove. He can't get it to go. Third opportunity for the Billikens. Boy, they are ice cold. And a foul That'll go against Memphis and Quinones, and Penny Hardaway is not happy. He has given Anthony Jordan a mouthful right now.
Well, he felt that the contact was occurred elsewhere. The Quinones had the initial block out, and that's what he saw. And the Tigers did do a better job blocking out, because right now, if you do not block out St. Louis, they are finding a way to get to the offensive glass.
Memphis still out rebounding the Billikens 13-10, but good job on the glass by St. Louis. They just can't make a shot. They've hit one of their last 15 field goal attempts in their scoring drought, 5-17. Let's see if Thatch Jr. can break that. And he does with the free throw. He's 1 of 3 now from the charity stripe. One more for Fred Thatch Jr. Played 20 games last season for the Billikens at 3 starts. St. Louis last year 14-7. They were 6-4 in the Atlantic 10, which was good enough for 4th place. He goes 1-2.
Well, sometimes you don't get credit for a block, but if you're in the area, sometimes your reputation or what you've done previously can affect a shot. And I think Memphis is doing some of that against St. Louis, and they're rushing some of their shots when they're in close.
Nolley tried to drive baseline. Okoro wasn't set, and he'll be called for the foul. St. Louis over the limit. It'll be a 1-on-1 situation for Memphis after their 7th foul. Billikens, by the way, in the double bonus, as Memphis has already committed 10. And Landers Nolley to the free throw line, trying to add to his 4 points.
And what a luxury that you can bring Landers Nolley off the bench. First team preseason all-conference pick. All-conference last season. He is a proven scorer. That's a nice luxury to have.
Rolls in the first. He'll get the bonus here. Memphis owns its largest lead at 15. Quinones, the offensive rebound. Loose ball, 3 or 4 bodies now on the floor. And finally, it's Yuri Collins taking it away. And that'll be out of bounds off Memphis. 11-1 run for the Tigers over the last 5:20. St. Louis has hit 1 of their last 15 shots, 5 turnovers in the last 5 minutes and 45 seconds. No field goals in that same time span of 5:45.
Really love the effort. Both teams with guys willing to hit the deck going after that ball. You get players doing that. You've got the effort level. You're doing a lot of things well from a coaching perspective to get your kids to do that.
Nesbitt, the former Tiger, good try, but from behind, Nolley got his hand on it. And then Okoro gets spinned around. I think that was Timberlake, was it not?
Okoro almost in a dance step there. He got tied up on the ground, but give him credit. Found a way, a nose for the ball in traffic. He's going to go to the free throw line again. Again, Travis Ford talked about how much he's improved every single day, getting better and better and better. And he's a guy that they've got to count on, particularly because of the loss of Javante Perkins.
So 2 as St. Louis is in the double bonus. Francis Okoro, who's already 4 for 4, now 5 for 5 from the free throw line.
Again, Nesbitt gets his shot just deflected, and Okoro again with a knack, a nose for the ball, a little dance step down low. Give him credit, strong enough to get it up. And again, for a big guy, outstanding free throw routine for anybody. Again, bend those knees, follow through, good spin, good rotation. And the jinx.
And his first miss. He was 5 for 5. He's also added 5 rebounds. Rashad Williams is checked in for the first time for the Billikens. Bates had it stripped by Collins, and then he commits the foul in frustration. And that's what Yuri Collins can do. And that's why St. Louis is picked 3rd. They're going to be a player in the Atlantic 10. Travis Ford loves this young man, but he is definitely the key.
And Collins, nice job reaching an all ball. Came from the top down. Sometimes that's you get that call as a foul. If you come up underneath, you very rarely have it called. But right now, 14-point deficit for St. Louis, 2:53 to go. If they could get it to 10 or under, well, they're still in this game at the half.
Each team with 3 steals, as Alex Lomax will check in for Emoni Bates. First point for Collins. 19 games last season, 17 starts. Preseason A-10 third team. an all-defensive team going into this season. He has his first couple of points. 32-20.
Again, kind of token pressure for St. Louis. Again, just slow it down a little bit. They'll drop back in the zone. Memphis ball movement, so important against the zone. Normally dribble penetration, not always there. You want to move it with the pass.
Lomax had it stripped by Collins. Collins working against Quinones. He'll draw the foul, count the shot, and he'll have a three-point opportunity. Boy, that's the experience, that's the speed of Yuri Collins paying off.
Folks, that's a big-time play. Nice defensive deflection. Collins comes up with it, and then not afraid, challenges the taller Lester Quinones. Quinones out of position. Collins with a chance for three-point play. 10-point lead just like that. Exactly what we just talked about. It's so important for St. Louis to get it 10 or under. Like the toughness and resiliency for the Billikens of Travis Ford.
Penny Hardaway goes for more shooting, John, as he brings his son in. Jayden Hardaway replaces Earl Timberlake. And a three-point play for Collins. Yeah, Lomax a little lackadaisical with that dribble. He left the ball out in front, and Collins has quick hands. As you mentioned, quick five for Collins, and all of a sudden now it's a 9-point game. Hardaway.
Memphis has got to be careful not settling, taking quick shots. Oh, good defense there that time by Lomax. Nice deflection.
And Memphis basketball as it rolls right out of bounds. Yeah, great play by Alex Lomax. I guess what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Collins making the strip on him earlier in the steal, and now Lomax gets a nice defensive play.
Lomax is tough. He knows what to do. He's played for Penny Hardaway for a long time, not just here collegiately, but middle school, high school, so he understands what his coach wants of him. And more times than not, he will deliver.
Great defense in this first half. Harris open for three, and another one for Tyler Harris.
Now that's a backbreaker. You got to go out and extend on him. He's already hit his first. Now he's two. He's a streak shooter.
John, you're so right. They got to recognize the shooter, and boy, Hargrove recognizes a wide open lane, the bucket and the bang.
Now that time Memphis just absolutely fell asleep. That's a straight line drive by Hargrove. Give him credit. He saw nobody defending. 6'4". He can take it right to the rim. He can shoot it from the outside. He got to the basket in a hurry. Nobody willing to get back, step in the way. Hargrove with a bucket and the three-point play opportunity.
Yeah, Jayden Hardaway commits the foul. Memphis, a lot of fouls in the first half, and St. Louis back to the free throw line with that three-point opportunity, as you mentioned, for Terrence Hargrove out of East St. Louis, just across the river from St. Louis. Third season with St. Louis University. Played for the Bradley Beal Elite on the AAU circuit, and he's had a really nice first half.
In ball movement, so important. Move that ball around the zone.
Harris. Wow! The circus is in town. The little guy with the great vertical.
That was impressive.
He ran back, he looked at the Memphis bench, and he gave the old signal, not tough enough or not tall enough to cover. And again, this is a guy who's listed at 5'9".
He definitely has got some hops.
Man, oh man, Tyler Harris making a difference in the first half. And there's an offensive foul on Fred Thatch. Kind of lowered his head and went in like a fullback would.
Well, impressive that Memphis is willing to establish defensive position and they're not afraid to take the contact. Maybe a little bit of movement there by Hardaway. Thatch created the contact. And more importantly, Memphis with a chance to add to their 12-point lead.
Nolley from the baseline. That one's short. Lomax gets the rebound. The putback is good by Alex Lomax. And now with under a minute to play, Memphis has matched its largest lead. Actually, 15 was its largest. It's now 14. Pelicans just 25% shooting from the field, but they're not out of it, not by a long stretch. Hargrove, the runner. No, the putback by Okoro. He's been in great position. He has 6 rebounds, but unable to get the flush.
Very good sense for where the ball is going to go.
Harris, are you kidding me? He's feeling it.
That's a backbreaker because that's not what you expected for Tyler Harris to come off the bench and absolutely light it up.
15 seconds to play.
Leading scorer in the game at 11.
Collins with 8, working against Harris. Now double team, the floater, no, and that's going to be a foul bucket there by Hargrove. I thought it may have been basket interference, but obviously the officials saw it short of the rim. And a foul by Hargrave, who really has single-handedly kept St. Louis in this game, or at least within striking distance.
Yeah, Tyler Harris has been the guy that's come off and given the Tigers the huge offensive lift. He also had some solid defensive plays, but he's definitely been the difference in the first half.
All right, Coach Hardaway now joined by Cassie Carlson. Cassie?
Penny, there was a point in that half where you held them scoreless for 6 minutes. What were you guys doing defensively that you want to see the rest of the game?
Well, we were putting pressure on them. They were walking the ball up early, and then we found a way throughout the half to start getting pressure on them. They started turning the ball over, and then we rebounded and got out. For a spell, they got offensive rebounds, which got them back in the game.
What else are you going to emphasize here at half?
Well, we're going to talk about boxing out, keeping our man in front of us, and pushing the ball down their throat.
Thanks.
Thank you, Cassie. Memphis holds St. Louis to 26% shooting in the first half. And at halftime here at FedEx Forum, it's Memphis leading the Billikens of St. Louis by the score of 42-27. We are ready for the start of the second half. Both teams will begin with the players that started the game. Lomax, Quinones, Bates, Duren, Williams for Memphis. Meanwhile, for St. Louis, Collins, Nesbitt, Hargrove Jr., Jimerson, and Linson. And let's see if St. Louis can get Jimerson more involved with just 2 shots in the first half.
Well, got a mismatch inside. DeAndre Williams not able to corral it. They had the opportunity on Yuri Collins inside. Couldn't take advantage of it.
Right off the bat, Memphis with a turn. Now 12 for the game. Hargrove, top of the key 3. Okoro again gets position.
Wow.
Can't get the putback. One more chance, and finally it goes for Okoro, who is using his size to really dominate in the paint. And finally, after missing the first, gets the second putback.
That's 3 Memphis defenders around him. Didn't get either time. Give Okoro a lot of credit for his tenaciousness on the offensive glass.
Bates down the lane, got fouled from behind. And I think Nesbitt got him. So Emoni Bates quickly will go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
6'9" freshman, reclassified again because it's supposed to be playing senior year in high school, but he's talented, and again, you just get such a great vision of what he can become. You just see flashes of incredible talent, skill set, very, very difficult to defend. He's only going to get better. That's the scary thing.
Short on his first free throw attempt.
As he physically matures a little bit, he's got all the skills. That's only going to get better.
Memphis 5 of 11 from the free throw line. We talked about St. Louis, just 10 of 18. One more for Bates. And he's now in double figure scoring with 10. Harris leading Memphis with 11. And Hargrove Jr., the only player in double figure scoring for St. Louis with 10 as well.
Collins does a good job keeping that dribble low. Hard to steal it from him. Keeps his head up, which means his vision. He can see open teammates, where screens, where defenders are.
Okoro calling for the ball. Wants to work against another player who reclassified to this year. Should be a senior in high school. That's Jalen Duren. Nesbitt.
Okoro got a hand on it. Wow. Got a hand on it, deflected. Well, didn't get credit for the offensive rebound, but because his effort was there, it deflects off a Tiger. And once again, he comes up on them, figuring out where the ball's going to go.
Well, Anthony Jordan was looking for help from his fellow official, Bert Smith, but Bert had already gone up the court.
Well, if you're Memphis defensively, you're going to have to start putting a body on Okoro. You're going to have to block him out rather than just block an area out. He has proven that he has a knack for where that ball is going to go. He's doing a good job of getting there.
Well, they trapped
Quinones.
Jimerson, yeah, and Quinones called for the foul. Fans don't like it. That's a great point about Okoro. Okoro is a big guy. He's not that big. And Memphis will play bigger guys this season.
Memphis trying to trap. That time, Quinones, unfortunate, just didn't establish and hold his position. Jimerson was in a bad spot.
Nesbitt driving, splits the defense. He split two guys and laid it in. And Nesbitt has his first points of the game, averaging over 13. Good start for the Billikens in the second half. It's 43-31. By the way, Quinones with that foul, that was his third. And we have a timeout on the floor here at FedEx Forum. 18-12 remaining. As I mentioned, the Billikens, a good start. They're outscoring Memphis 4-1 to begin the second 20 minutes, but they still trail it by 12.
Welcome back to St. Louis and Memphis on ESPN+. If you look at this St. Louis team, on their jersey, there is a logo that says SS. It stands for Ford Stewart, a former assistant coach and also the nephew of head coach Travis Ford, who passed away this past May to an infection that just spurred upon him. Now this team has adopted a motto he stood by. The journey is the reward is what he always told his team. And he talked to some of these players like Yuri Collins. He said he adopts that every day. He said Ford Stewart taught him to live life and live life in the moment. They are honoring him this entire season, playing for him. Just a tragic thing that happened earlier this year, but they're trying to remember him, and getting wins is one way to do that.
It certainly was a tragic, and that is a great recognition of a very treasured part of the St. Louis Billikens family. Williams way off with that three-point attempt. Memphis has upped its lead to 14 at 45-31. And there is Coach Ford Stewart again, who passed away back in May. Hargrove, he's been aggressive all game long, but overshot that one, and Lomax gets the rebound. And we got a foul called on Jimerson. That'll be the second in the second half for St. Louis. Memphis, one team foul. Memphis will have the inbounds with 25 to go on the shot clock.
Tigers pushing the ball up the floor. Williams beats Jimerson to the spot. Jimerson's got a foul to stop him.
Yeah, just grabbed him.
We'd really like to see Duren get the ball inside here against this lineup.
Williams, count it, gets the kind bounce, and Hargrove commits the foul. So DeAndre Williams, who has been quiet so far tonight, makes his presence felt with a three-point play opportunity.
DeAndre Williams, another celebrated preseason second-team all-conference member. Strong inside. Get a chance for the three-point play.
Previous bucket for the Tigers, Alex Lomax now with 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Solid minutes for the senior.
If St. Louis is going to play man-to-man, Memphis is going to have some opportunities inside. If they can isolate big guys down low, St. Louis will have to help, which means somebody's going to be open. They have not been patient enough, for the most part, to go to that. At some point, they hadn't had to because they've shot the ball so well from outside. Most of that against St. Louis's zone in the first half.
Largest lead for Memphis, 17. Nesbitt got it blocked by Duren. Here comes Memphis. They have the numbers. Bates leaves it for Duren, and he's fouled from behind by Okoro, who said it was all ball, Mr. Official. But the officials see it differently, and that's a foul on Okoro.
Coming right at you. Nice pass by. Got him with some of the body. He may have gotten the ball, but body was the contact right in front of the official.
And, John, how about the job that Bates did to not commit the charge?
Well, also, how about Duren running the floor?
We expect that.
That's 6'11". He can run the floor, and Bates rewards the big guy for his hustle.
Mentioned Jimerson played at Mount Verdi Academy, as did Jalen Duren, who again reclassified for the 2021 season like his teammate Emoni Bates. Wholesale changes for both teams. There's Jordan Nesbitt will get a breather.
Well, Tyler Harris expected to come back in and pick up where he left off in the first half. He really gave Memphis a big lift, not only offensively, but again, defensively.
Fred Thatch Jr. back in the game for Travis Ford's team.
All right, once again, St. Louis has got to do a good job of climbing back in this, not allowing Memphis to go on an unvarnished run.
Duren again, right there, his presence felt, and he's pumped. He now has 5 points as well. And Bates traveled.
Well, that's your rim protector. You know, we talk about that a lot. Memphis can be aggressive. They can afford to be aggressive out on the perimeter. Because when you got a guy like Jalen Duren corralling, Nolley gets beat back door, and Duren is right there to challenge and block that shot. That's a great luxury where you can really be aggressive defensive. That time Nolley just got beat back door.
Duren with 2 blocks in the second half. Tigers now have 8 as a team. Jimerson working against Nolley, and he'll draw the foul. Boy, Nolley thought it was clean. May have been clean with the arms, but he got him with the body, according to Terry Weimer.
Well, what's tough for Memphis is they really had Jimerson taking a tough shot in traffic way down low on the baseline. That's going to be a tough shot in traffic. Nolley picks up the foul. Just enough contact to bail Jimerson out. St. Louis right on the verge of really getting in difficult territory. Enough time now, 16 minutes, enough time. Just got to make sure that Memphis doesn't put together one of these 10-12 to nothing or 12-2 spurts and really get the crowd energized.
Jimerson makes 2. Got a hardship waiver for a foot injury in 1920. Last year, 21 games, 16 starts. Williams with a great save right in front of us. Memphis by 17 as we approach 16 to play and half number 2. Bates. Harris pulls up from the elbow. And that's the first miss for Tyler Harris.
Good job by Nolley getting back. Good rotation by Nolley going all the way back.
And then on the same page, Nolley and Bates were not, as that one's thrown away for a 14th turnover for Memphis. 15:48 remaining in the second half. Memphis leads St. Louis by 17. Coming into tonight's game, Memphis second in blocking percentage in the country, thanks in part to Jalen Duren. They have blocked 24 of their opponents' 82-point attempts. Again, coming into this game, they have 8 blocks tonight. You saw Duren's 2. Bates has 2. Williams has 1. And Landers Nolley II has 3 blocks. So again, that totals 8 blocks for Memphis. They come in averaging 12 blocks per game.
Quite a luxury to have guys at the rim that can do that. Again, it really affords you the opportunity to be very aggressive on the perimeter. If you do get beat, you got help. Josh Minott going to get back on the floor. Really like this young man's game. Very intelligent player, very athletic. Could be a real contributor. Yep, could be a real contributor.
Collins, great drop off for Linson. You're going to see a lot of that, St. Louis fans, coming up this season. Collins with a great distribution there, and then Nolley gets sandwiched.
Interesting, Linson, according to his coach, is the most talkative player that he has on the team out of Dusseldorf, Germany. But really like his leadership and his energy.
They're going to call Hargrove Jr., so that's 3 now on Hargrove. Quinones for Memphis, Hargrove Jr. for St. Louis. The only players in the game with 3 fouls.
Coming right at you. You see the pressure. Hargrove just a step behind. Fortunate that Collins didn't pick up another foul.
A bit of a dangerous pass as well, but St. Louis commits the foul.
All right, you got to find a way to get Duren down low. Playing man-to-man. He'll come up high, pick and roll.
Harris, another one. Tyler Harris has 4 triples. He has 14 points, and Memphis now with their largest lead at 18.
Yeah, Harris just a backbreaker. That's double his seasonal average of 7 coming in this game. And when he starts hitting it, you got to extend your defense out, which means you can't help as much on the inside guys.
Let me correct myself. 19 is the largest lead for Memphis. Hargrove turnaround over Minott. That's pretty. Wow, what a nice game for Terrence Hargrove Jr.
Yep, he's going to be a real asset for this year's team. Nice pass. Got goaltending. Beautiful pass by Bates inside to Nolley on the cut.
Nolley gets credit for the bucket. Linson got over there, but committed the goaltending. Basket interference. 18-point lead for Memphis.
Just that time, just poor communication. That's and Hargrove with unforced error, and that drives you crazy. That's when you start watching like late night infomercials. If you're a coach, you can't go to sleep after those.
And I like how St. Louis came together, the five on the floor, to talk about that. Make sure they nip that in the bud. Little miscommunication. You don't want that to obviously continue. 12 turnovers now for the Billikens. 14:25 to play in the second half. Memphis by 18. Again, their largest lead, 19. Bates from way downtown. And now the Tigers own their largest lead at 21. Emoni Bates' second triple. And all of a sudden, you look at the three-point shooting, and Memphis has hit 7 of 12. Duren, another big block. Collins thought it was goaltending. Nesbitt. Oh, that's Minott. Count it. And a three-point opportunity for the freshman Josh Minott. Wow, don't blink. You may miss something.
Well, you just got a great look again at what rim protecting can do and the transition explosiveness that this year's Tigers of Penny Hardaway can put to use. Very nice job pushing the ball up the floor after the block, and Minott gets a chance for a three-point play.
That was a sequence of Bates hitting a long rainbow three, Duren blocking the shot down at the other end, and then coming right back, Josh Minott, the bucket and the three-point play. Josh Minott now with 8 points off the bench. And the Tigers start to stretch that lead. It's now 24 at the 14-minute mark. 61-37, the Tigers by 24.
Really tough discipline-wise right now for St. Louis not to panic and just push shots up trying to catch up too quickly. Got to make good shots each time.
Lentz, an offensive rebound in the putback. That was a good drive by Hargrove. Had the shot altered, but Lynn the foul. Quick hands once again by Yuri Collins.
Now that's adjustment that he'll make. That's an experience that he's going to learn. Again, he's not normally a guy that's going to handle the ball as much, but Penny Hardaway wants him to be in that position at times.
Well, Penny is the perfect guy to learn from.
That's
Talk
right.
about big guards. That's what Penny was, a big point guard at then Memphis State and in the NBA. Jones in the game. Hargrove tried to slam it. No. Jones gets the loose ball.
Good hustle by Jones.
Scrappy. They are scrappy. They find a lot of loose balls. Collins for three, in and out. Boy, Linson gets another one as Duren's unable to corral the rebound. Then Hargrove got it.
Minott with a block.
Yeah, Minott got the block. Hargrove missed the dunk. And then another block.
Tigers are just not going to concede anything to St. Louis tonight inside.
Boy, St. Louis, a lot of second chance opportunities there. Just
great effort.
Won't go. And then Nolley with an elbow. He backed down DeAndre Jones. And Penny Hardaway is not happy because
what's a flop?
He thinks it's a flop, but also there's something at the other end because he was pointing down at the other end and thought if you're going to call that, call the other end as well.
Yeah, again, DeAndre Jones. Wow. That elbow a little high, but that may have been an academy. But that's what St. Louis has got to have. Again, they got to have some plays like that. Yep.
Yeah, I was waiting to see that.
He's right. Penny Hardaway's making his point.
Yeah, I was waiting to see that elbow flare out, but it did not.
Yeah, it wasn't much. And again, Penny Hardaway doesn't say a whole lot. He's not a guy that moans and groans and complains much. So when he's upset about something, normally, he's got cause for it.
Good defense by Minott. Got in front of the lane right there. Knocked it out of bounds. So 18 on the shot clock. 12:39 to go in the second half. Memphis by 22. Easy.
Inbounds pass. Can't allow that to happen.
Tigers fall asleep. Jones has his first bucket. The transfer from Central Arkansas. Back to 20 now. That's a tough pass. Hardaway
can't pick up your dribble. Can't pick up your dribble that deep in backcourt. Those long rainbow extension passes give the defenders a lot of time to get in.
Duren may have gotten his hand on that one, and then a foul was committed by Memphis. That'll be the 15th foul for Memphis, 6 for St. Louis in the second half.
Duren's timing is absolutely just so impressive because you got to hit that block on the way up before it hits the backboard or before it starts to come down. He has not been called for a goaltend in this game.
Collins with the inbounds, 20 on the shot clock. Jones from the corner for 3. And Minott gets the rebound. Harris the pull-up. Boy, he's feeling it tonight. Tyler Harris off the bench for Penny Hardaway has 16 points to lead all scorers. Lead back to 22, but here comes Hargrove Jr. He's like a locomotive, and nobody wants to get in front of that guy.
Very impressed with his play. Very impressed. Tough guy.
Harris. Oh, the putback by Jalen Duren. Nobody boxed out. And he cleans up the miss. And then a turnover by St. Louis after the flush from Jalen Duren. I tell you, you blink and all of a sudden Memphis has a couple of buckets and a block or some sort of big-time 3 like Tyler Harris. And then the dunk by Duren off the miss. Memphis by 22. Memphis has outscored St. Louis in the second half 23-16. The lead is now 22 at 65-43 as we revisit the keys to the game, John. And we started with St. Louis. You talked about shot selection.
Again, that was where Travis Ford talked about not settling for what Memphis forced or allowed his team to do, shoot, but rather good shots. They've had some good looks, but they haven't been able to finish. So they've had some problem there, and pressure has been a problem at times operating against Memphis. Biggest problem for Memphis is 17 turnovers. Still not doing a good job in that area.
Harris, Jayden Hardaway, Earl Timberlake, DeAndre Williams, and Josh Minott on the floor for Memphis. 10 on the shot clock. Williams in traffic in the lane. That was altered. May have been blocked by Okoro. He got his hand up. Good defense. Jones, long range three-pointer. DeAndre Jones, who's a real good shooter from beyond the arc, 67% coming in. 19-point game.
Tough. Wow. Nice move by Josh Minott. 6'8". Curled it. Finger roll. Bucket.
Great leaping ability as well. That's 10 now for Minott. He's perfect from the field. 4 of 4 with a couple of rebounds as well. Jones, no. Hargrove Jr. Memphis just cannot get a hold of the loose ball. Okoro has missed about 5 of those tonight. Boy, you can't criticize hustle by the Billikens. Boy, they're everywhere. And finally, Williams corrals the basketball, and he didn't want to give it up there. You can read lips what DeAndre just said. Traveling violation on Memphis, unforced error, and that'll be number 18 against the Tigers.
Yeah, that's a category that Penny Hardaway's been talking about, and Memphis is going to have to do a much better job of getting those numbers considerably down, particularly as competition gets much better. Later this week, home against Western Kentucky, and then next week, head up to the Barclays, as you said, against Virginia Tech.
Jones, Nesbitt, Okoro. Nesbitt misses the shot. Okoro again, another offensive rebound. Rashad Williams is on the floor. Jones misses the 3.
Hardaway just climbed the ladder. He didn't corral it, but he deflected it.
And nobody's communicating. Williams gets it taken away from him by Nesbitt. Hargrove Jr. with a 3.
Again, so impressive. He can shoot the ball from the outside, yet he is strong enough and tenacious enough and athletic enough to challenge at the rim whenever he needs to.
He's now the leading scorer in the game. 17 points on 8 of 18 shooting with 8 rebounds for Terrence Hargrove Jr., the only Billiken in double-figure scoring. Now crept back to within 18. Williams isolated, spins.
Nice.
Jump hook goes for DeAndre Williams, who now has 7.
Well, that's where your height advantage. Good job by DeAndre Williams recognizing no help. He's got a 4 or 5 inch advantage. Played it well.
Memphis has now hit 8 of their last 10 shots from the field. They're shooting 57% for the game. Nesbitt kicked it out, goes back to Hargrove, in and out. And DeAndre Williams will come away with his 3rd rebound. Jalen Duren against Okoro. Bucket and the bang. And that was just a lazy foul by Okoro, who maybe just plumb tuckered out. And Jalen Duren will get a 3-point opportunity. Timeout on the floor. Actually, no timeout. 8:20 to play. Linson will check back in for St. Louis. And he's going to give Okoro a breather. Okoro now with 12 rebounds to go along with 7 points.
As he gets just a little bit stronger and a little more comfortable and confident in game situations, he's going to be a force. If you're a Billiken fan, you're going to enjoy watching Hargrove and Okoro play together inside. Okoro is such a great knack for where the ball is going to go. That's a key component for a rebounder. Knowing where it's going to go and not being afraid to challenge to pick it up.
Duren stays at 9 points, unable to complete the old-fashioned 3-point play. We're going to call Timberlake, or no. Yeah, they will call Timberlake on that foul.
Well, St. Louis doing a good job of isolating off these screens and really trying to get some one-on-one situations where their speed may have an advantage over Memphis, coming off those screens and going right to the bucket and challenging the Tiger defenders.
Lester Quinones checks back in for Memphis. Quiet night for Lester, just the 2 points. Nesbitt pulls up over Timberlake for 3. Jordan Nesbitt, couple of buckets, won that triple. He has 5. Lomax down the lane, and he's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Alex Lomax pushing the issue. Will get rewarded with a couple of free throws when we return. 7:51 remaining here at FedEx Forum. The 11th team in the nation, 11th ranked team, the Memphis Tigers, lead St. Louis 71-52. 7:51 remaining. Memphis leads by 19. Their largest lead tonight has been 24. Billikens hanging in there. John, a lot of action on this Tuesday night around the country. A lot of teams that will be on the Memphis schedule this season.
Alabama winning against South Alabama, 73-68, and Georgia knocking off South Carolina State by 16. That's Tony Madlock, former Memphis player and assistant here. Down by 16, and it looks like the American Athletic Conference set possibly for a clean slate. Everybody tonight. Virginia up big over Houston. Houston up big over Virginia. Wichita State up over Tarleton. Cincinnati has already beaten Alabama A&M, and UCF knocked off Jacksonville. And Memphis winning here at this moment.
Alex Lomax makes the first. They'll get one more. Good solid game for the senior with 5. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, trying to get his 6th point here. Boy, Virginia, tough start to the season for them. They lost to Navy, Tony Bennett's team did earlier in the year. Alo makes both. Point lead for Memphis. Collins. That's a tough one for the big guy to handle, but he's able to corral it. Now just 10 on the shot clock. Collins in traffic. Oh, great feed, and a nice job shielding himself from Duren was Martin Linson.
Linson's had a good second half. Tigers with a turnover.
That is number 20.
That is just, that's going to drive Penny Hardaway and the coaching staff crazy because so many of them are unforced. Now, some of it's unfamiliarity with teammates, but that's something that's got to be, you know, low teens. They play a high impact, high explosive game, so you're going to have some of that. And because of the position of basketball, you're going to have more guys that are handling the ball than ordinarily, so that's going to create some.
Wow, second chance opportunity, but Nesbitt airmails it on the 3 attempt. St. Louis has scored 24 points off those 20 Memphis turnovers. Lomax the runner. And the rebound by Nesbitt. And Jordan Nesbitt, the former Tiger, played 3 games, just 12 minutes in total for Memphis last season before transferring to St. Louis, where he hails from. Now Lomax will take his time. Memphis out rebounding St. Louis, but only by a slim margin, by 1. St. Louis out rebounds their opponents by
nice
21.
recognition.
Duren. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Again, we say this with a caveat. The 3 teams that they played, this is certainly a jump in the level of competition, but through their first 3 games, they were out rebounding opponents by 21. Memphis out rebounding opponents by 5. And again, tonight it's 39-38 Memphis.
That's a good job by Bates, 6'9", finding Duren at 6'11" with a height advantage inside. Good recognition, and Duren will get a couple free throws for his efforts.
As the 4th foul against Linson, he has 4, Hargrove Jr. 3, Okoro 3 for St. Louis. Bates 3, Quinones 3, Minott 3 for Memphis. Duren now in double figures with 10 points to go along with 5 rebounds as Gibson Jimerson checks back in. Boy, it's been a quiet night for the Billikens' leading scorer.
Yeah, he's been harassed, and the athleticism that Memphis has gotten the length has caused some problems. He had a couple of good moves inside, and Duren redirected one of them right at the rim.
Duren goes 1 of 2. Free throws basically a push in this game. Memphis 13 of 21. St. Louis 12 of 20. Foul situation, Billikens 9, Memphis 6 here in the second half. Collins, great bounce pass for Linson, and he's fouled. So back to the free throw line, this time for St. Louis. And the big man, Martin Linson. You mentioned the international flair on the St. Louis team. He's from Dusseldorf, Germany. You also have Andre Lawrenson from Gothenburg, Sweden. And Lassina Traore is from the Ivory Coast. Josh Minott will check back in for Memphis, replacing Earl Timberlake. 1 more for Linson.
Well, basketball is an international game.
No question. And Linson makes it a 19-point game. St. Louis led early in this contest. Their largest lead was 3. Largest lead for Memphis, 24. Right now it sits at 19. Bates for 3. Emoni Bates with his 3rd triple.
Good press break by Memphis that time. Sorry about that, Greg. And once again, that just slows your aggressiveness down. When you break it, you score quickly.
John, he and Tyler Harris have combined 7 of 10 from beyond the arc. And there's a whistle and a foul away from the play.
Nolley.
And they're going to call Landers Nolley, and that'll be his 3rd. But between Harris and Bates, boy, oh boy, they're bringing down some rain.
Again, good press break. Emoni Bates immediately pulls up from 3-point range and get a good view. 6'9", he has got range.
And Bates right at his average, 16 points. He has a couple of rebounds and 2 assists. 1 more for Linson. He's now reached double figures with 10 points.
He's had a solid second half. Again, we talked about it the first half. His coach says he's the most talkative player on the team in terms of instructions, always positive, brings a lot of energy. They really like him.
I've been very impressed with Linson and Okoro physically in the paint, getting rebounds, keeping shots alive. Bates not that time, and a big rebound by Nolley. It's just they haven't been able to finish as effectively as they normally would.
Again, this is their first time and stepping up to much better competition as well. So
St. Louis has the numbers right here. Collins, Hargrove Jr.
Textbook break there. Nice, simple passes, get the easy layup. That's about as well as you can do it.
Nolley.
Nice move.
That'll be a foul against the Billikens.
Duren went down, he knocked Minott down. Just kind of like bowling pins going down there. Duren's a big man.
Collins with that last assist was his 7th of the game.
Nice move by Nolley, and again, take your pick. Duren down, he knocks Minott down. Duren's going to be the one to to go to the free throw line.
So Memphis in the double bonus the rest of the way, the final 5:03 as we look at Anthony Penny Hardaway. Looking for win number 66 in his 4th season with Memphis. One more for Duren as DeAndre Williams will check in for Lester Quinones.
Well, both coaches, I think, are going to leave this game with some good things to build on and obviously some coachable moments. I think if you're St. Louis and Travis Ford, his team competed. They were hungry. They showed moments. Got into some situations where they struggled at mid scoring. Memphis defense had a lot to do with that. If you're Memphis, again, the turnovers, that's just got to be more manageable. They've got to get that number down. That's going to cost them some games as competition picks up later in the season.
Yeah, no doubt. Again, 24 points St. Louis has scored off of 20 Memphis turnovers. Collins, great ball handler, good kick out. And Duren kept it alive to Williams. Finally, Hargrove Jr. misses. I mean, he hasn't made all his shots. He's 9 of 21, but he's been extremely effective. Nolley, no. Big rebound by Duren. The contact, and he nearly was able to bank it home. They'll go back to the free throw line. And Duren has really stepped up in the second half like he did in the Tigers' last game against North Carolina Central.
What you like about Duren is he's not a guy that complains, lets the game come to him. He is a force inside. He is a load to handle. But he's patient. You don't see him get demonstrative. You don't see him get upset about not touching the ball. And really, the last 2 games in the first half, he has not had many opportunities. Got some foul trouble. But he lets the game come to him. And he really plays well at the defensive end. Not all freshmen are willing to play with the kind of energy he does at the defensive end. He runs the floor extremely well.
Duren is now up to 6 blocks. They've all come in the second half to go along with 12 points, 8 rebounds, and a steal. That's impressive. One more for Duren. 4:31 to play. Memphis by 20. Again, next up, Western Kentucky will come in to Memphis on Friday. Hilltoppers coached by Rick Stansbury, the longtime Mississippi State coach. He's been at Western Kentucky now for quite some time, and last year they handed it to Memphis.
Yes, there are some Tigers that will remember that, because you're exactly right. Western Kentucky played very well and gave Memphis a tough loss early in the season.
Harrison Bates with 16, Duren with 13, Minott with 10 to lead Memphis, and there's a foul called against Josh Minott. That'll be the 4th against Minott, and quickly runs over to Coach Penny Hardaway. Penny gives him a couple of words of instruction. And Chandler Lawson will make his first appearance. The transfer from Oregon is he'll replace Jalen Duren. Duren probably done for the game with 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 blocks. Lawson was a freshman when the St. Louis Billikens, they have a player that transferred from Oregon. Somehow I can't find that in my notes right now, but they played together for 1 year when they were in Oregon. It was Okoro. Lawson gets the roll.
Quickly in the scoring column.
Yep, Chandler Lawson out of Memphis. One of 4 Lawson brothers who have played at Memphis. Jonathan being redshirted this year. Diedrich and KJ played.
Very talented family.
Collins gets the roll. Or rattle, I guess I should say. 7 now, then a steal. And great defense there by Lawson. So Lawson makes an immediate impact with a bucket and a block. Hardaway, Euro step, throws it up, no.
All right, play getting a little ragged now.
Hargrove, Collins lays it in.
Yep, Penny Hardaway not real happy. He's just sitting down on the scorer's table.
In the meantime, Collins still down on the ground. Hopefully he'll be okay. 3:21 to play. It's Memphis leading the Billikens of St. Louis by 18. Smiles all around for the Memphis faithful as the Tigers are on their way to improving to 3-0 on the season. As as they lead St. Louis 82-64 with just 3:21 to play. But it's been a big difference in level of competition playing this fine team from the Atlantic 10. With all due respect to the Tigers' first two opponents, they step up in the level of competition. It's been hard fought. St. Louis has done an awful lot of good things tonight. Really the difference, the three-point shooting, Memphis is 8 of 17, St. Louis just 4 of 20. And really overall shooting, Memphis 53% from the field, just 31% for St. Louis. Those Memphis turnovers have really hurt because St. Louis has turned 21 turnovers into 24 points, and that has kept them at least in the game. And right now, of course, looks to be over. Minott, the alley-oop pass from Chandler Lawson, and nobody is back to defend. 12 now for Minott.
Yeah, I don't care what stage the game is. You're not going to be happy if you're a coach watching that. Just a defensive lapse. Again, we talk about competition. Both teams, stepping up. Again, we talk. Both coaches learn a lot about their teams. There'll be a lot of film study tomorrow and a lot of coaching points in practice. But St. Louis, again, devastating preseason loss with Javonte Perkins. Minott with the recipient of a nice lob pass from Chandler Lawson. But they've got some nice pieces. This is a team I think could play very well in the Atlantic 10. I think they're going to challenge. Travis Ford and his coaching staff have done a good job assembling good aggressive talent for their scheme and how they play the game.
10 on the shot clock. By the way, that last foul on Linson fouled him out of the game. 3 on the shot clock, and Williams is tripped by Okoro, and that'll be his 4th. But mentioned Linson had a really nice second half before being disqualified with the 5th foul. 11.6 rebounds. He's a good piece to the St. Louis puzzle.
This is tough for St. Louis because the shot clock inside 5, and you bail out Memphis with the foul. And if you're Memphis, you love running the shot clock down and getting a chance to add to your lead at the free throw line.
DeAndre Williams trying to add to his 7 points tonight. 3 rebounds. Block shot. And he rattles in the first. Memphis largest lead tonight, 24. Now at 21. And that one's in and out. Memphis 17 of 27 from the free throw line. St. Louis 16 of 26. Wow. He tried to pack that one. Hargrove did. Slow getting up. 5 on 4 for Memphis. Williams not happy. He thought he was fouled.
And he was.
And Harris tried a no look, and it's another Memphis turnover. Okoro, that went off, I believe, the head of DeAndre Williams. 1:50 to play, 25 on the shot clock, as Earl Timberlake will check back in for Memphis. DeAndre Williams is still yapping out here. Boom.
Well, it's getting ragged again the last couple of minutes. The officials, to their credit, they're trying to get everybody, out of here safely. This is where you've got to be real careful. You don't want anything crazy to happen or tempers to flare or frustration.
They're going to call that on Minott, and he's going to foul out. Once again, they tried that inbounds pass that worked earlier, and Minott commits the foul. So Josh will foul out. A perfect 5 for 5 from the field. 12 points in total, couple of rebounds, 2 assists as well for the freshman Josh Minott.
He is finding a way to push for more playing time because his numbers have been very impressive first 3 games of the season.
Officials restore order as players were walking onto the court to try to check in, but of course Lester Quinones needs to check in because Minott fouled out.
Right.
So Minott gets a nice round of applause. And Hargrove Jr. back to the free throw line. There's Lester. Quiet night for Lester Quinones. When Lester only scores 2 and averages 12.5, and you can overcome that, that shows you the depth of this Memphis team. Hargrove Jr. now at 20. Came in averaging just 6.7 points per game. He has been absolutely tremendous. He misses the second. Markai Strickland is checked in for St. Louis. Quinones, and he's fouled by Lacina Traore, who also just checked in. Andre Lawrenson will also be coming in just a moment for the Billikens.
Quinones wasted no time once he got it on the baseline. Takes it hard with the left hand. Not much contact there, but he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. A couple of free throws for Lester. Good stroke, good form. As you mentioned, a quiet night offensively. Normally, you can count on him for 10 or 11 points. 4 or 5 rebounds, a couple of steals, and 4 or 5 charges or attempted charges.
Connor Glennon will check in for Memphis, replacing Jayden Hardaway. So 4 guys on the court now seeing action for the first time tonight. 3 for the Billikens as Quinones makes both. Memphis came in averaging 89.5 points. They're a bucket away from being right there at their average. Meanwhile, St. Louis well short of that 103 mark that they averaged through their first 3 games. Three-pointer from the corner by Jordan Nesbitt. 13 points per game, now has 8 in his second triple. Harris pulls up. The floater, wow! Tyler Harris, that vertical is unreal.
It really catches you off guard, but he can climb the ladder.
The Tigers turn over St. Louis, and Jones commits the foul with 1:07 to play. So Harris off the bench with 18 points to face Memphis. Emoni Bates 16, Jalen Duren 13, Josh Minott 12. That is 3 freshmen to go along with the veteran Tyler Harris.
Tyler Harris in traffic, elevates. Seen that familiar ending most of the night. Another basket for Harris.
Terrence Hargrove Jr. with 20 to pace St. Louis. 11 for Martin Linson, who fouled out of the game. And 9 for the former Tiger Jordan Nesbitt.
Harris telling DeAndre Jones how he's doing it tonight. Jones forced to listen out there. But Harris has definitely had a highlight. Again, he's been a streaky shooter. Tiger fans will remember him from his earlier career when he was here. He got on a groove. He could absolutely extend the three-point line. And he could easily reel off 4 or 5 in a row, which he's done that tonight. But again, I really thought it was his defensive efforts early on when the Tigers really needed a spark that really helped. And he played both ends of the floor, and he was clearly the spark that Memphis needed when they really opened this game up.
Tadarius Jacobs, another one of the walk-ons for Penny Hardaway, enters the game for Lester Quinones, who makes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Jones 3. Could have been an over the back. Instead, it goes right to the hands of Markai Strickland, whose father, Mark, played 8 years in the National Basketball Association, then a foul committed by Strickland. 49 seconds to go. Memphis by 20. So an early lead for St. Louis. Their largest was 3, so it never got to where Memphis had to really be concerned, but certainly a good start for St. Louis. And then the Tigers went on that big run, and that big run really was a difference maker early. It was a 10-0 run, and they established themselves. And it's been around 18 to 24 pretty much the entire game.
Yeah, never in jeopardy. Never in jeopardy. Memphis just is too deep. They are very talented. They can go 10 tonight, 11, now 13, deep, and there's just not a lot of drop-off. Their defense at times is absolutely swarming. It pushes you away from where you want to start on the floor. They can get transition baskets, and then they've got some rim protectors. So they give you a lot of things you got to combat.
Harris tried to get the steal on Nesbitt. And remember, Harris was not here last season, so not one of those players that was a teammate of Jordan Nesbitt. And Nesbitt will go to the free throw line. Both teams have been in the double bonus for the last 3 hours, by the way.
Tigers could possibly see Tyler Harris's team from last year, Iowa State, depending on how things shake out in their tournament. Tigers will open up against Virginia Tech, and Iowa State and Xavier will play in the other game at the Barclays next week.
One more for Nesbitt. We'll try to get to double-figure scoring, and Tyler Harris gets a huge ovation here at FedEx Forum. Absolutely sensational, and we're hoping to talk with Tyler right after this one. 18 points for Tyler Harris. Nesbitt does reach 10. The lead is 18. Timberlake had it taken away. Nesbitt, Euro step between 2 defenders. He draws the foul. They'll call Timberlake. That'll be his 4th. And 2 free throws for Nesbitt. So Quinones quiet tonight. Timberlake's had a rough night. Quinones, or rather Timberlake, was strong in game 2, but really struggling tonight.
Quickness and the speed, you have to really get used to it. Again, as the competition gets better, the athleticism will be more evenly distributed between both teams. Speed's going to be something you got to deal with.
Tigers with, they want Glennon to shoot. Tigers now with 23 turnovers. And it's not like it's 1 or 2 guys. It's like 6, 7 guys with multiple turnovers.
Well, what you worry a little bit is some of those are unforced. Some of it's just familiarity, but some of them are just unforced with, just really thinking through things. Got to do a better job valuing the basketball. That'll be something they'll talk about.
And that's going to do it from FedEx Forum. Actually, 0.3 on the clock, as it will be a turnover for Memphis. Again, that was a gimme turnover, but it should be 24, although they have not marked it down yet as 24. That was a shot clock violation. And they do, unfortunately, credit Memphis with turnover number 24. So, yes, that is absolutely something that has to concern Penny Hardaway. But the defense was stifling. 31% shooting for St. Louis. And the Tigers improved to 3-0 as they win at 90-74.
No, Greg, you're right. The defense is formidable. I mean, Memphis gives you a lot of problems. They trap. They force you out of where they want to start. They got rim protectors, and they know how to turn turnovers into transition opportunities. They don't waste a lot of time. They can push it up and down the floor when needed to.
Bench points, Memphis, led by Tyler Harris, outscores St. Louis 42-15. And again, that's that depth that we have talked about. There are the final numbers. The Tigers shooting the ball well and doing a better job defending, a much better job at 31%. And they get 14 blocks, too, over their 12 average.
Well, Minott and Harris, 30 of those 42 points coming off the bench. That's just the three-point difference, and those bench points really were the difference in this ball game.
Hoping to get Tyler Harris in just a moment. Our player of the game, absolutely sensational. Coming into the season with the depth on this team, you wondered if Tyler Harris would get off the bench as a walk-on now, his second stint with Memphis, which has nothing to do with Tyler's lack of talents, because he has all the talent in the world. It's just they have so many prized players, and then they redshirted Jonathan Lawson, they redshirted Sam Onu. John Camden's out with an injury. And we're watching Memphis highlights, and while we do that, I know Tyler Harris is ready, so while we watch this, let's hear Tyler Harris, who is joined by our own Cassie Carlson. Cassie.
Tyler, a season-high 18 points, knocking down 4 threes. Where is your confidence level from beyond the arc right now?
My confidence at an all-time high right now. I'm in year 4. I feel like a vet, so I feel like every shot I shoot is going to go in right now.
You started your career here at Memphis. You transfer, you come back. What's it like to hear that standing ovation at the end?
It feels great, man. I know, I'm from here. This is my hometown. I'm just glad they love me and they gave me for living them.
There was a lot made up about this game because it was the toughest test so far. What was the mentality you guys came in with?
We just wanted to get the win, keep winning. We wanted to, put on a statement for the rest of the country to see, we ranked at 11 right now. We feel like we're a top 5 team.
Thanks, Tyler. Congrats.
Let's not chip him his points. The graphic said 16. He had 18. Tyler Harris had 18 points, 7 of 9 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3. And really played some good defense as well.
Yeah, I thought he did do a good job at both ends of the floor. Obviously came off giving a tremendous lift from the outside, but smart play. Again, there's his hops. But he was willing to give the Tigers what they needed, and they needed a spark tonight, and he was the guy that provided that. And this is a good showing, and just like he said, I love his comment. He's happy that the Tiger fans forgave him for leaving, so all back in good graces tonight.
4 players in double figures scoring for Memphis, again, led by Tyler Harris with 18. Our next broadcast of Tigers basketball on ESPN Plus comes your way Friday night, as the Tigers will take on the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. That'll be 7 o'clock Central Time. So for John Albright and Cassie Carlson, I'm Greg Gaston saying so long from FedEx Forum. Final score, Memphis knocks off St. Louis 90-74. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.